Macro Ministry of the World, my man Mr. Mark coming back at you live and direct. So, just a real quick rant video. Remember at the Grammy Awards, Jay-Z, the self-proclaimed king of hip-hop, uh, accepted a Dr. Dre Impact Award, I guess, for his museum exhibit for the self-proclaimed greatest of all time. And he got on the stage and had this big long rant about how Beyoncé had never won Album of the Year. Now, as far as Grammys, Beyonce has 32 Grammys. 33 is her next win. And if we go to Gematria calculator, remember, I have some problems with my calculator. Beyonce is 33. So her next win is her 33rd win. Beyonce 33. And that's probably going to be her Grammy for Best Album. But the problem with Beyonce winning Best Album is, what is actually her best album? And, that is kind of the issue with Miss Beyonce when it comes to winning Best Album. So let's see some of the wins she has. So Beyonce won for Best Dance Electronic Music Album for Renaissance. Best R&B Song she's won. Best Traditional R&B Performance. Best Dance Electrical Recording. She was nominated for an Album of the Year. Song of the Year, and that's just for the 65th award. 63rd music video she won, R&B performance, rap song, best music from a film she's won. 62nd, best music from a film, a lot of nominations. 61st, best urban contemporary album, best music video, best R&B performance, best rap song performance. 59th, best music video again, best urban contemporary album. Album of the Year got nominated for Lemonade, but wasn't strong enough to win. 57th, best surround sound album, best R&B song, best R&B performance. A lot of times you're seeing her kind of being typecast. Best rap song collaboration with Deja Vu. Best R&B performance by duo vocals, on and on and on. These typecast awards. But one thing you don't see is Beyonce won Song of the Year. She was nominated for like R&B performances, but you never see, Beyonce has won Song of the Year, or was even nominated. She was nominated for Song of the Year, I think, a couple of times, but you never see her nominated for Song of the Year. We put Album of the Year, best song, relevant visual media, but never Song of the Year. Never Song of the Year, anything about that. So, yes, is Beyonce a very talented artist? Yes. And she reminds me of Diana Ross. Diana Ross won some Grammys, but hey, let's even look at that. I think Diana Ross got a couple of Grammys. Well, Diana Ross never won a Grammy, so she's got 13 nominations but never won a Grammy. So Diana Ross didn't even eclipse that. And Beyonce reminds me of a new Diana Ross. The only thing that's different, she's won some Grammys. But this 33rd Grammy will have to be for Album of the Year. And she'll surpass that with whatever this album is. But to Jay-Z's complaint about the whole thing, And sadly, here's the problem. Beyonce has been around for a long period of time, and I say it's about a lot of artists. And with the whole Killer Mike thing, with Killer Mike sweeping the Grammys this year, really shows the pathetic state of music today. Where Killer Mike is my age, he's in his 50s, but Killer Mike, I didn't like his album because to me, some of the songs he was lowering the bar, trying to sound like these new artists when you ain't got to. And I think that standards have not been set by older artists. And especially if you're still in the game, the bar should be very high. And these young schoolers should be trying to catch up with you unless they're going to create a different bar. Kind of like Kendrick Lamar's created a bar. Hey, you got to catch up to me. And he did that in hip hop for a couple of years. Killer Mike just came and he already established, already knew what he could do, put together a tight album. And honestly, there was no competition for Killer Mike this year for best rap album. Let's look at this. And best rap album this year. And we know Killer Mike got it this year. And see if we can get the year. I just want the so this year, Michael by Killer Mike, Her Loss by Drake and 21 Savage, Heroes and Villains by whoever the heck that is, Utopia by Travis Scott, Kings and Disease Part 3 by Nas. I didn't hear the album. King's Disease 3. Mike Sweat beating King's Disease 3. Pretty much beating everybody. The rap game is not what it used to be. Like I say, there are no songs in the top 10. It's just not what it used to be. And there's a big difference between Beyonce and Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is a lot more musically gifted than Beyonce. Let's put it like that. She can write songs. Yes, she has producers, but she can write songs. She can play instruments. She's a lot more talented than Beyonce. And some people might say, well, what do you mean? Yes, Beyonce can stand on the stage and get butt naked and move around, but that's not talent. Just because you can dance, you can hold a couple of high notes does not make you a talented artist. Stevie Wonder is talent. Taylor Swift is talent. Billie Eilish is talent because these people produce, they write, they put together materials. That's what creates an album of the year. Not, well, I'm necking on an album on a horse. I should have album of the year and all my songs are dance club songs. And okay, what song actually said anything about anything? On a Renaissance album, what is the moving song? I bet I can go to Taylor Swift album and find one or two songs on there that move you. What is Beyonce's moving song on the Renaissance album? Get on the Horse Naked? So you can't continue to do that, lowering yourself in the bar, thinking that you should be nominated for that because I'm Beyonce. No, you need to take your ass to the studio. You need to create an album that people actually remember. That's what you need to do. You need to take your ass to the studio. You need to put on some goddamn clothes. You need to get in there with talented producers, people that aren't wasting their time with a bunch of garbage, and create an album that people actually remember you by. Create an album that actually means something to you. But I don't think Beyonce can do that because she sold her soul for so long, there is nothing left. There is nothing left for Beyonce to give. And the only way for her to have an album of the year is to get other people's material and do their stuff. But you got to get some hella right. That's what Adele did with her album. That's why Adele 21 did what it did. That's what Atlanta Morissette did with her album. Most of the great albums have had great producers and writer behind them. Unless you can do that stuff yourself. If you can't do it yourself, you need to get with somebody who can do it. But what Beyonce's been pumping out is not best album material. Because what's the memorable song? What's the song that's going to stick with you forever? What's the song? So album of the year is solid. Album of the year is solid. When you talk about Bruno Mars, when he won album of the year, solid album. You knew when you heard that album, the way it was put together. And this is a talented young man. Gets around other talented producers. You see how solid those albums are. You know that's album of the year. What's going to beat it? Because look at the impact the songs have. Beyoncé just has not kicked that out. And until she kicks that out, yeah, she'll win a lot of Grammys. She'll win a hell of a lot of Grammys. She's got 32 right now. But just because you're winning Grammys does not mean that you have put together the material to give you the one Grammy that for some reason continues to elude you, where out of 88 nominations, and most of them been for album of the years, it's just not good enough. Put on some damn clothes, go in the studio and make a solid album. And stop thinking that I'm naked on a horse is the way of getting album of the year. Because you just keep pumping out the same club crap that is not album of the year material. The Bee Gees had a disco album, but if you go to that goddamn Bee Gees Saturday Night Fever album, that was the one album that was on the charts for almost 2-3 years, and the only album to ever win Best Album of the Year for 2-year period. Think about that. One album won for both years. You never ever seen it, and you never will see it again, where you had to give that one album the award twice because it was so great. If you can create something like that, you can get album of the year. Until then, Beyonce will win another Grammy, but it won't be for album of the year unless she sits her ass down and really creates one. Mr. Mockty, back row.